Our mission is to bring those innovations to market faster, to have an impact on the lives of patients faster, or on the workflows of clinicians and labs globally. To do that, we've assembled a really awesome team that has a great combination of people with a more scientific background and a marketing background. So that we have people doing the communication about your product that have also actually been behind the bench in the lab. Very diverse team, and the way we are set up, the way we work with our clients, where someone from our team goes really deep into the technology and becomes almost part of your team, and then has the Ooho backend to very rapidly execute on marketing campaigns. This way really allows us to think strategically, but also act very fast on a very tactical basis. Been doing this for a while with quite some fantastic clients that we collaborate with in the life sciences, in medtech, digital health, some investors and institutions that also trust us, so we are very thankful for that click. Around the world, clients based also on the other side of the pond, and we help these cross from continent to continent as well.
I did say that.
Ah, yeah, and thanks. I thought that was a very fitting slide to add Remy's nice words. So how do we do that? We do that based on 3 key pillars. The first one is to make it clear. Making complexity compelling is at the core of what we do. The second thing is to make it look good. Giving it an appealing look. We don't really understand why medtech, health tech traditionally has to look not great. So we want to make it focus on an appealing design. Once those things are done, we go and show it widely, get the products in front of the right eyes. And to do that, we've established a bunch of services. So we help startups, scale-ups, from branding to launching their products, all the way to generating demand on a continuous basis. And for that demand generation, we're also working on some really cool new AI-based tactics, but more on that later. So really today I wanted to illustrate this work on by illustrating the campaign we did on the NIO launch, because that is really a great way of showcasing a bit of everything we do and support. So when Remy and I first met in the summer of 23, they had been working on the NIO for a few years, and they had to launch the device within 3 months after that. And at that point, they had a fantastic device, really a device that was going to blow the competition and everybody out of the water. But they had the device and an instruction manual, and that was it. They had not been focusing on marketing for quite a bit of time due to budget constraints. They really locked down or reduced marketing budgets, so there was not a lot of contacts to work from. There was a lot of time pressure, and then there were the giants in the market that were doing a lot of efforts to push their products out there. So that was the situation we found ourselves in, and Remy said, okay, Thibault, you guys have 3 months to help make this the most epic launch in precision genomics ever. So here's what we did. This really is our launching playbook. 4 quadrants. We always really start from the basics, the strategy. We looked at what does the market look like, really segmenting the market really well. As Remy already mentioned, digital PCR is a massive market. You can't win them all. So really decided on, okay, where do we focus? In this case, it was oncology and cell and gene therapy, so mainly targeting biopharma companies. And then once you have that, you look at, okay, then how are we going to position ourselves in that market, and how are we going to share the message with that market? So that's really your messaging positioning, and we put that all together in a marketing playbook. And that marketing playbook is what forms the fundamentals for the bottom part. First is product marketing. Everything that has to do with generating brochures, but also your competitor battle cards, your talking points, your application notes, and so forth, working with clients to generate data. And then once you have those things, you start putting that into campaigns. When we talk about campaigns, so in the top quadrant, I said really focusing on your target audience, finding a niche. But when we talk about campaigns, we go the other way around. We go really broad. We try to activate all the different channels where that target audience is active. So combining outbound efforts, inbound efforts, third-party efforts, and so forth. Let me walk you through it. So starting by, the click. Starting by indeed focusing on the features. For that we use a framework where we try to bring out the capabilities of the device and then put it in a matrix and match it against the pains and needs of the different segments. So that depending on who you're talking to, you're highlighting the right key points of the instrument. We then looked at, okay, who in the market, who can we work with on early access programs to give them a glimpse, a demo of the NIO in their labs, and have a good distribution of those. Here you see the core capabilities that we identified. So we needed to find cases that would also identify or highlight those capabilities. So that's the second part. And by doing that, you also automatically start activating those key opinion leader relationships, which are also an instrumental part in bringing such products to market. Then building a full roadmap, a lot of project management, working with all of the internal stakeholders, development, R&D, product management, operations, and so forth. When we were launching, it was, so I said we started working on this in the summer. We were going to launch in Q4, which is really in the middle of budget cycles for potential clients. So we needed to break that budget cycle and make people aware that something is coming, hold your budgets before allocating them. And that's why we created a big teaser campaign where we focused again on those key elements, like the big 7 was mysterious, alluded to the 7 colors, or the 8 plates that you can insert in it. And for that, we then created a nice teaser video. We heard from competitors that in the hallways, people were starting to say, holy crap, what is Stilla coming up with? So we were really getting to that point where we are starting to break those budget cycles and having people hold their budget, waiting for what's next from Stilla. But that was not enough. I mentioned that key opinion leader activation is crucial. Data generation is crucial. So we worked on a lot of EAPs, early access programs together, brought out the device on the road together with a camera team and had people demo it. We knew it was an amazing device. So the only thing that's very easy as a marketing team, the only thing we had to do was put them in front of a camera and ask the right questions. So we launched the second teaser. Yeah.
The first impression I have from the instrument was
beau,
hands-off,
compact, moderne.
impressive. It's a breeze.
And those teasers slowly being dripped into the market through all of the channels that I mentioned before. We also bought places in newsletters of things like Biotech Gate, Genome Web, and so forth. That really started to generate that excitement for the launch. And that's what you see here. We also activated all the channels like LinkedIn. We activated not only the company LinkedIn, but also of all of the salespeople. Stilla has an excellent global sales team. So we made sure that everyone was involved in this to maximize the third pillar, getting it in front of the right people. And everything led up to our big launch event, which was a digital launch, really an Apple-style event, 30 minutes, with Remy himself doing the introduction, and then having people from the Stilla team explaining how the product works in a very clean, concise way. And some of the clips from this launch are still being used in training of new clients today. You can scan the QR if you want to watch the whole launch video at a later time. That, of course, leads to a lot of leads being generated, over 1,200 leads registered for that product launch alone. So these need to be handled as well. And that's where I mentioned using some cool AI leverage to follow up with those people. What we did is we used some AI agents to scrape those individuals, but also scrape exactly the type of research that they are doing, so that we could, for example, see, this person is working on AAV characterization, or this person is working on liquid biopsy and does disease progression analysis by analyzing ESR1 mutations, right? So, and based on that knowledge, we could do very personalized follow-ups. Hey, thanks for showing that interest in Stilla. I watched your website, I read your latest publication, and I see that you're working on X, Y, Z. And then we put that in flows like this, combining LinkedIn, email, and so forth. And by doing so, we could really increase the likeliness and the interaction and the response of people converting to opportunities for sales. So there were some pretty nice results. Over 1,200 leads just from that campaign. In the months after, there were many more generated, and the campaign also generated over 10 million in pipeline, out of which quite some deals were closed in the meantime. So really a thrilling campaign to work on together. Voila, so that's a quick run through of how we, a peek behind the scenes of launching such a new product in the market. And then my final thing is, my final call to action is to say, hello, let's create some magic together. We can help you on a variety of things depending on the phase that you are in. Early discovery, if you're in early discovery, we can help with fundraising support, crafting investor deck, crafting that initial, getting that messaging, positioning right. If you're in pre-launch phase, really building your brands, developing a good identity, a website, first interactions with key opinion leaders. And then if you're ready for market entry, making that launch count, helping you execute on it and creating all of the collaterals around it. And then of course, afterwards, once you're in the market and ready to scale, that is the engagement that we're on now as well with Stilla's ongoing execution of the marketing campaigns. And that is what I wanted to share with you today.